Come back to part 3 of creating these text queries to add, edit, and delete items in our database. So we're still on the starting point on the workspace. So now let's have another look what sort of queries we want to create. So you can open the document. Some of you talk personally how this looks like. So these sort of text queries we will create one after the other one. You can have another look at the document, plus it was also explained in one of the tutorials. Okay, let's remove this. Okay, the starting point is here. Let's add another line. So we define a variable. So that what we do a lot in programming, defining variables that hold text values or hold number values or date values, all sort of values. Okay, now we create a query, a string, and we give a logical name. What other name is? We say insert query. Okay, that will do. Insert query, and now you can see a little explanation. There is a little squiggle, a green squiggle around or underneath, and if you hover over it, comes a message up and says the variable insert query is declared but never used. Okay, it's fine because we now start using it. Okay, let's create the basic format first, and you effectively can go and do a little bit copy and pasting. How? Just bring back, so this saves you from the whole typing exercise. So remember, that sort of thing we want to create. We can use this first part so you don't do any misspelling or mistyping. Go Control, select it, Control copy, and just go back. So now we say insert query. You don't always need to type it. You can just double click on it. It's IntelliSense, it comes up. And the tab button text starts with double quotes. We've done this before with the add, you can see underneath. And now I'm pasting in the text value. So this will do for start. Don't forget, and it even reminds you, there is a little red squiggle at the end. The line needs to be finished with a semicolon. Okay, that's great. Now take this value we just formed, copy it, and that's the one we want to assign to the text box. Paste it. Oh, that went a bit wrong. Control X, I just undo it. Let's do this again, copy it. Okay, now do it manually. Delete this and paste this. Okay, we can test this right away. Run the program. Click the add button and you can see, here we go. Now that's a good start. Step number 2 is now here. We need to get the values. So you look at the second part of how the query looks like, values, and then we need to get the values in, which is reading them in from the text boxes we got there. So let's do that now. Okay, I stopped the program running. I can click the square button, stop it here. This annoying window keeps popping up. I just close it. Okay, now we can do start insert query plus equals insert query plus What are we adding on? The word values. And now we're starting, don't forget, there is a bracket that gets forgotten easily. Plus what? Plus the name of the grocery that was entered into the text box. So if you got the naming convention right, you just type text box, and you can see as soon as you type the word text box, it comes up everything that is on the screen with the wording text box. Yeah, that's the one we want. Double click on it and go dot the text value. I like double clicking on the thing once it comes up. Okay, now we can go plus and close the bracket. Okay, we just do one by one. And don't forget, it's a semicolon at the end. One thing we may not forget, the text, when we send text off, it needs to be wrapped up in these single quotes. This is only the one for text. So that indicates for the command line where's the beginning of the text and where's the end. So let's do that. So that means here we add a single quote, and here I add this in the same fashion as we added a space here before. So I go plus a single quote. Okay, as you've done this, it's time to maybe have another test. Click the add button, and now you can, oh, that didn't quite work out. Oh yeah, of course, that's a good test, because effectively I didn't enter anything in that box. So that means here now I enter name, and what can we do? We just say cherries. Now you click add. Now it forms that string, and now you can see this is the beginning forming this a little bit more lengthy string. Okay, now let's do the next box. What is the next value in, well, department ID? We can see this is the next value we need. Okay, get the value for department ID in. It is basically, we start here. Okay, don't forget these values are separated by a comma. Add the comma here. What we can do, make it a little bit tidier. Maybe we go plus that comma sign, and now we go text box. Oh, this is not a text box, remember. This is CMP combo box. Now I need to check what the name of our box is here on the screen. Let's have a look. Go right mouse click properties. It's not coming up. Let me try this again. Okay, I might need a little refresh. That sometimes happens. Okay, now I've done a little refresh. Now I can see the properties. So the property is combo box underscore, the name of the box. So this is correct. Okay, I just go copy, so I don't need to retype it. Okay, might have to watch out a little bit. Where does it go? We add it here. Dot the text on it. Is correct. Okay, now let's test it. Okay, we add a value here. We done cherries before. Department. Okay, this is later on a number a value we pick up off the list, but now we have an option. So far we did between 1, 2, and 3 different department represented by an ID number. So let's just type 1. It will do. So go add. Okay, now you can see how this shapes. Because it's a number value, we do not need single quotes. We don't need anything extra. So now potentially do the same thing as for price. So I do it fairly quickly without commenting much. So you can see I've done it here. Edit the price $5.43. And that's when I click add, that's how it gets formed. Now we can continue. But before we continue, let's have a look, because now that line of code gets rather long. We can break this up, this line of code. Let's say here, after that one, we can go and make it a line break. So we can continue here. It still works the same way. Now we add the value for the date, because it's the next one, the date field. Okay, so I just type it. So I put this towards the end. It always needs to be there. Plus, we need the comma again, because a new value. And we need an hash, because if you have a look, we wrap up the date value with a hash. That's how our database knows the difference. So we give plus. No, it's not a text box. I think it was a date field. Here we go. Date time picker underscore expiry date dot text. Now plus, we need to add the hash again. That's it. Now I can close that and click run. Test it. Cherries. We hit the department already. The price 5.43 I hit earlier. And expiry date. Okay, here the Dropbox seems like the date is always the default date of the day is today. So you can easily go and select the calendar and says, okay, cherries don't last very long, only 2 weeks. And click add. Now you can see how it forms. Values. Watch out, so the single quote for the text is there. There is the number value. There is a comma between the next value. Then comes the date value, and it has the hash correct. So now we need to finish the rest. Add all the other ones as well. I'll do this quickly without commenting much. Quantity, country ID, grocery ID. So 3 more values. Stop this now and do it quickly. So I completed now the whole text string. So that's how it looks like. And that's now in the similar fashion as is explained in here. So if you look it up, you can have a little space here. That is fine. That could maybe be a little bit tidier if you think so. Other than that, because it's the same thing as typing here, we always have a little space there. Don't cram it together, but it's still functional. So I have a look in here. What I did is I broke up the lines. So make sure you always have comma separation. And here is now the new one is for the quantity. So edit the quantity plus the comma, then the text of the combo box, which is right now, I just make it a number, the number value, and comma and the last one. Okay, that is already now functional. Okay, we do the same thing now for the edit command. The edit command looks a little bit different, so you can borrow again some of the information we have here. So you can easily use the first part. So there is actually nothing wrong now if you use that whole string here, copy and paste it. Copy it. And you can paste it here. So you can borrow a little bit of the text. Here we go. I break it up. Okay, that's how I would go about the job. Again, now we have a query we're creating. Let's move this a bit here. Watch out where you set your cursor, don't delete anything. This time we create a string value, string underscore update query. Done. Remember, before I said there is a little green squiggle, a warning that was underneath the insert query. Once we start using it, it disappeared. Now you can make life a little bit easier. I would go about and take this value. I do a lot of copy and paste. I don't like typing too much. Equals. Okay, now we make a, now bring back the text. I hit delete. It brings back the text. Okay, now go start the text typing. Okay, sorry, order. Okay, now I could theoretically make this whole thing a command. So I finish here and oh, okay. It wants this sign. No. Okay, now let's do it this way. That is all correct. Now here, single quote. Seems like copy and paste. It doesn't actually like this. It's not a single quote and it was an apostrophe. Plus. Plus what? It's the text box value again. Here we go. I can even take copy and paste. Copy and paste. Plus the single quote. End of it. We can test this now. Okay, that this of course now causing a little bit of a problem. We can go to backslashes. Backslashes turns any code we're having, any text we're having into a comment. That means it does not execute it, it does not have any effect. Now let's come to that stage. We're doing this testing again. So therefore I replace this one with our test string. Run it. Now I don't use because we're updating something. Let's say we have already something existing, bananas. I think we got bananas on our database. We click edit. Okay, now you can see what's happening. So yeah, that is our start to forming our update string. And now I'm going to make it right to the very end. I don't comment everything little thing because forming the text string is very repetitive to the first part. At the end of the day, what we want is a text string based on what we ended in these boxes, and it looks similar to that. Okay, we form this gradually. I'm not commenting every step. I make it right to the finish line. So the last query is easy. Behind the delete button, we create a query with the name delete_query. We assign it to the variable. That's good enough for now. How we build this later on is yet to decide. But that completes it for now. We can have another test. Let's have a look what the problem is. Oh, you can see I didn't add the semicolon. So that's good. You can see expected is a semicolon. That sort of errors we sometimes get. Yeah, this is correct. Semicolon supposed to go here. And the error disappears. No, still one. I double click on it. Okay, seems to be the same error. Popped up twice. Run it again. Okay, and that is the test. Cherries, sorry. No, cherries. So 1, 1, 2, 3. Price $5.34, whatever it was. Pick the date, quantity 1, 2, 3, whatever for tasting. So I look at the add. Now you can click even edit and delete. Oh, delete, we don't assign to the text box. That's true, not yet. Okay, we can still fix that. But that completes it for now. You can say fix it yourself. We've done it now 3 times. We write the query string into the text box. The text box only now is for this exercise to get the job done. We will remove the text box later on. That concludes it for now. Okay, good luck.